got a really messy looking manifold set up here. I want to test my hydronic tubing before we pour concrete. So I've got a garden hose adapter to just a shutoff valve, and then this big manifold I made with cinch PEX and a pressure gauge. And then I've got the output manifold that just goes to a hose and pours out in front of the house. I purge the lines by just running water at full blast through them, and then I shut the close valve on the output side, and then I shut the valve on the input side. And I'm gonna watch this pressure gauge here, which you probably can't see because it's very sunny, and see how badly the pressure drops over time. You'll notice if I turn on the pressure, the city water pressure fluctuates kind of like mad. See it going up and down? And I think some of that might be the momentum of the water in the pipes kind of swinging up against that pressure valve. So I'm gonna get it all pressurized, shut it, and then let it settle. And then once it settles, I'll make sure it's not continuing to droop. I know that the PEX can expand a lot, because you can tell because if you shut the water off, you still can take on a lot of water between 0 psi and 70 psi. So the PEX is definitely expanding. So I think to some extent it's got to relax a little bit, but then we can get a good pressure reading. I don't see any massive leaks. These PEX crimp fittings seem to work really well. We went with cinch clamps instead of the ProPEX, mainly because ProPEX doesn't seem to offer an oxygen barrier product, and it's more expensive, and there's something to be said for better than good enough, but then there's also something to be said for when it's never going to be a problem, don't spend more money. We talked to our contractor, and he said with this radiant heat, the best way to protect against slicing it with a cutoff saw is to secure it with a cajillion zip ties. Because he said it's not so much an issue of the rebar mesh being too high in the slab, it's an issue of loose sections of pipe floating up. And you can see before that we had the 2 black zip ties, and now we've got another 2 white ones in between. Quick tip here, black zip ties are UV resistant, and white zip ties are not. We're using these zip ties for to hold our radiant heat down, so I guess it really doesn't matter because they're only going to be out in the sun for maybe 2 weeks. But I assume if you're tying down some telecom or something outside, you definitely want to use the black ones. Funny enough, they're both about the same price. I think the UV resistant ones are $24 a bag of 1,000, and the non-UV resistant ones are $23. So yeah, I guess spend the extra $1.
So this middle wall here, where we have the rebar, is going to be where our internal ICF wall is. So it's going to be a reinforced concrete slab, and then they'll set the internal Fox blocks over that. One thing we caught before we poured, which is probably a good thing, was we had 2 additional rebar stakes right in here blocking our hallway, so we would have had to cut those off. And then same with the master bedroom closet, which will also double as a storm shelter. I didn't have an opening there for the closet door going into the bathroom, so that would have been annoying.
Gotta put some stakes to hold this form in place. Apparently the sledge is over here. I do not see it. We spray foamed up the damaged ICF there. That expanding foam seems to do a pretty good job. So maybe we need like 1 more can. Over here I think we definitely need more.
does it feel to have a concrete floor?
Nice. One big step done.